Hi, welcome to Scathingly Brilliant Idea. My name's Nancy, and I want to show you how I set up my health and wellness planner for the week of May 19th. I'm using a Take of Note B6 planner this year for that, and it's working really well for me. It's got a little thicker Tomoe River paper GSM 68, and it does, as you can see, have some ghosting and just a little bit of bleed through using these join dot markers from Midori, but it doesn't really bother me. So I have the categories that I'm tracking of food, water, and walking activity, and also weight training activity. I'm keeping track of my sleep. These are Weight Watcher meetings I attend. I am a member of Weight Watchers. And also I'm keeping track of my mood 3 times a day. I do a little check-in, and I've got a color coding system I use for that. And as you can see at the top, I've tracked the weather just so that I kind of know what to look forward to during the week, although it typically changes. It's at least a start. And I've got a little sticker here for shot day because I am on Zepbound as well. And then I can't resist these little cute little sloth stamps I got, 3-in-1. They have little lines on the side where to line them up so that they peak above the lines or hang below the line. And then sometimes I like to use my colored pencil, which I also use to keep track of my moods. I sometimes will use my colored pencils to color those in to give it a little something. Otherwise, they're just black and white. And then this is the weather stamp I've been using. Most of those things I think I got on JetPens, but they're pretty readily available if you look around. I know this combo colored pencil from Pentel I got on Amazon. So what I am tracking up here, the reason I have so many different boxes, and every other week I change up how I try to denote a box. Sometimes I will actually put the lines in. Sometimes I just do some alternate shading to separate this space. But I keep track of my macros up here, as well as my calories and my Weight Watcher points on a daily basis. So I keep track of all of that in my app on my phone, but I like to be in the habit of recording it here on paper at the end of the day, so I have something to refer back to. And to me, it's more easy to see the trends, and it does help with some accountability. As I flip back to that one page, you saw there were several empty days in a row where I just gave up tracking altogether. And if I have something to look forward to, then I'm usually a little more accountable to recording it at the end of the day. Here I could just put a little X for the water, how many ounces of water I'm drinking. I put one mark is 8 ounces for me. And then for the steps, I keep a record of steps and then any additional walking I do. And usually that's just been in the case of walking the dog. And I give myself a little heart sticker, or depends on the stickers I have that I'm trying to use up, but I use some little marker to reward myself for doing that extra effort, although the dog's usually pretty good about reminding me of doing it. Weight training, I have done a lot of travel recently for work, and so it's been really hard for me to be consistent with that, but I do like to go 2 to 3 times a week to Planet Fitness is where I go locally. The little sleep mask, I keep track of my sleep. I wear my Apple Watch to bed at night, and it helps, and I record how many hours of sleep I get with these join dots. They come in lots of different colors. The W is a stamp that I just color in with a Tombow to denote Weight Watcher meetings I attend to. I attend some virtually as well as some one in-person meeting a week when I'm in town. And then the little happy face, I also use a Tombow to color in the tip of that and put that down here. So I'm keeping track, like I said, 3 days a week. Or 3 times a day rather, I check in on my moods, and I had copied this emotions wheel from Moxie Life and just, cut it out, and I keep it attached here. And around the circle, I've kept tabs of, I have a little color coding system. And I like this circle because, you know, like a lot of different emotions wheels, it starts off with some, you know, basic feelings, and then it kind of narrows in on 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 the actual overriding, you know, emotion that stems from those feelings that you're having. So I will do that 3 times a day. Like I said, I try to. And I was using individual colored pencils, which got to be a lot to carry around. And so I found this on Amazon, and this is so cool. Sorry, I was inking a pen earlier. You just push the button down, and after you turn this to the color of lead you want, and it pops out. So if I want a pink, I just hold it down, kind of stop it and push it back to where I want, and then I drop it back down, and I just keep on going. So I have all these colors in one pencil, and it's a little thicker lead too than the individual pencils I had, so that's helpful as well. Kind of like it works like the Kaweco SketchUp too, which has, you know, the really, really thick lead. So anyway, that is a walkthrough of what I am doing, and it's worked out really well for me. I do have notes, a space down here to write notes. Sometimes I put motivational stickers. I've got a ton of stickers that I've accumulated over the years. Oh, and speaking of which, these that I'm using here on the side are just printables that I got from I Love to Print on Etsy. It's a great shop. It has lots of different options. I do have silhouette portraits that I'm using to cut that out because her designs come already formatted for a silhouette or Cricut if you happen to have that, because I do not have the sufficient knowledge to make my own cutouts and stuff. I'm good with printables for the time being. That's something to do in a future point in time. And then when I go back in and record every day, I'll use, usually I'm using this pen because I keep this Pilot Falcon, inked with Diatramentis Document Black, and it has a nice fine tip, and so I get, you know, real fine recording of the macros and calories and things I want to write. Sometimes I'll write with another fine point pen I have. This has a different color ink in it. Sometimes I like to see that. So anyway, it's up to you, whatever you're feeling that day. But I wanted to share that with you and hopefully give you some inspiration for your own health and wellness tracking. If you already are doing that, or if you haven't started doing that, hopefully some of these ideas will help you along. It's been amassed over, for me, it's been amassed over a system of trial and error, listening to other people, and watching lots and lots of YouTube videos about how what has worked for others. And so I'm just passing this along to see if it will help you. Have a great day.